something something live is only once, they say. They are usually, so two things there. Blah, 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 blah. Usually when we're doing a saying like that, we usually put they say first instead of at the end. So instead of saying live is only once, they say, it's okay, but usually they say live is only once. And I don't think that's exactly what you meant to say, because live is only once is not really the famous expression. The famous expression is you only live once. So you probably meant to say, and like they say, you only live once. You only live once. That is the expression that I've heard many, many times. You said sacrificing. Maybe you just forgot, or pronunciation-wise, sacrificing. There's a C which has an S sound in there. It's not sacrificing, it's sacrificing. You said those young generation, you need to choose, because generation is not plural, generation is a singular. So you need to say the young generation or those young people. One or the other. And then another pronunciation one. You said hardly take photos, but I had to think for a second afterwards, because it sounded like you said highly take photos. So the pronunciation hardly. Make sure hardly, hardly, highly, hardly. And Ted, two for you. You said sometimes it's bothering to invite someone. Bothersome. Bothersome sounds much better than bothering. In that situation, using bothering as an adjective, I don't even know if it's bothering as a verb is okay. He's bothering me. Stop bothering me. But when you're using it as an adjective like that, bothersome, definitely. And you said, I want to be taken portrait with my family. I want to be taken portrait. What you want to say there is, I want to have a portrait taken with my family. To have a portrait taken, not be. Or to have my portrait taken with my family. You can say my, because you're saying with your family. Or have our portrait taken. Any of those is okay. And hein, which hein is this? Hein, hein. It's much interesting to me then. Again, I feel like I'm saying this one all the time. Make sure you include the word more. It's much more interesting. You need the word more. I think this is because of translation, right? Because in Korean, it's just my idea. Because this mistake is so common with Korean people. And to me, it seems easy. Much more than. Much less than. You cannot say much than. But I think it's because of translation with Korean. Because in Korean, you can say it in fewer words, right? I think you just say like 훨씬 봐라. You don't have to say 훨씬 더 봐라, right? Right? It's just my idea. I think it's because of translation. They kind of leave out that word more. 더 is more, right?
Yes.
So that's very common, but it's definitely important.
So I have to change it.
You just need to add the word more.
More is
It's
enough.
much more interesting to me than. Exactly. You just need to add the word more. You said seduced and then you said seduced, but it is seduced. Seduced. Sa. The first A makes an sound. Not seduced, not seduced, seduced. But the intonation is on the second part of it. It's not seduced, it's seduced. The skill is very different and difficult for me. I understand difficult. I didn't quite understand what you meant. The skill is very different for me. I just was not completely sure of your meaning there. You said AM 5, definitely change it 5 a.m. 5 a.m., 10 a.m., 9 a.m. You said black-white picture. Very simple one. Make sure you use the word and. Black and white. Black and white. We say it fast, so I like the word and sometimes black and white. You know, it can just be an sound if you want. if you say it fast. Black and white. Black and white. And you said watch that pic. You watch a movie, you watch a TV show, but see the picture instead of watch. Suhyun, eating something is kind of enjoy the time. I think you probably would just want to say eating something is kind of an enjoyable experience. And Koreans sometimes overuse the word experience. I've heard sometimes they use it in a situation where it's a little bit unnatural, but in this situation it's okay. Eating something is kind of an enjoyable experience. If you want to emphasize you like to do it with people, you could say it's a communal experience. Communal, like a commune, like together. I'm not eating at, you would say I don't eat at. You don't put it in the ing form. I just look up some internet. It's strange there how you say some internet. I just looked up on the internet. I just saw on the internet, not some. And this graph made in 2000 you said this graph made in February in 2016. Add the word was. This graph was made, and don't have the two ins. In February 2016. You don't need the in after February. And last one you said, and Russia, United States, followed by. When you were talking about the graph, you need to put followed by before. That is followed by Russia and United States. And Hein, you said most of cases I prefer to eat with people. I would definitely say most of the time. You're talking about just, how can I explain the difference between most of cases, most of time? Most of the time, most of cases is when you're talking about cases, examples. You know, there were 100 murders in Seoul. In most of the cases, it involved domestic violence, something like that. Most of these examples. But you're just much more general, broad thing. Most of the time, I prefer to eat with people. You said the photos was, definitely photos were. I like to take a photo in the foreign countries. I would add the word would, because I think you were saying I would like to, with your family. I'm not sure. I would like to take a photo. When you say take a photo, it sounds like you're taking the photo. But we were talking about where would you like to go, maybe. So add the word would, and even then, I would like to take a photo. No, similar to like I told Ted, I would like to have my photo taken. If you say I would like to take a photo, you're taking it. If you want to be the subject, I would like to get my photo taken with my family in a foreign country. And you said the death boy, and then you changed and you said the boy who dead, just the dead boy. Sounds quite morbid. The dead boy. The boy who was dead, it's okay, but just simply the dead boy. And Seijin, I take a picture a lot. I would change that to I take a lot of pictures, or I take pictures a lot. I was trying to think of why that sounded strange. I think it's because there's two uhs. I take a picture a lot. It sounds strange to me. If you say I take a lot of pictures, that's personally my favorite. But you could also say I take pictures a lot. That's fine because it's plural and you don't have and next to each other. So for some reason, I take a picture a lot sounds pretty strange to me. If you put it in the plural, it's better. It is hard for me to collect the best one. The word collect there would not be correct. Collect, you collect coins, you collect comic books.
I mean the
choose.
Choose.
Yeah, select. Yeah, choose and select. Either of those is fine. And photographer, photographer, it's photographer. Pronunciation-wise, photo, each O makes an O sound. But then when you change it to photography or photographer, both O's change. The first one changes to and the second one changes to a. Photography, photographer. both O's change pronunciation there. Why? I don't know. Sorry, but it just does. And yeah, we should head out. Okay. Thank you.